Hey everyone, my name is Zhizheng, and then today we're going to talk about loops in programming. Loops is like extremely important part of the programming and also is part of the control flow, right? Basically, it tells you what a program is going to do next and then how many times you want to do it. So one thing like in programming, sometimes it's like when you are writing some code, right? You realize you're doing like the same thing over and over, you're kind of repeating yourself. There's one very important practice in programming is like to stay dry, right? What is stay dry? Is do not repeat yourself, right? So when you know you're repeating yourself, that's when the loops comes in. This comes in handy. Instead of writing a long line of code, you can just put everything in a loop and then make the code short, clean, and then easier to understand, right? So, and then there's two main loops, or two loops that we use in programming is while loop and a for loop. So let's start with the while loop, right? Like in the name is while loop. So you can think like English, like while something is this, then you do it, right? So like normally we have like a little condition here, like a condition. So like you can say while x is less than 10, right? While x is less than 10, then you perform whatever you need to do. Let's say you want to just do print. So imagine you have a task, you want to just print 1 to 10, right? So while x is less than 10, print x, right? But then there's an initial part. It's like, I think about like programming as like cooking recipe, right? You put in your brain like, I want to print 1 to 10, but you got to tell the program what to do. So in this case, we got to initialize what x is, right? So we got to make sure x, let's say we start from 0, right? Actually, one part starts from 1 if you want to print from 1 to 10. So while x is less than 10, print x. So what is x right now is 1, right? But then, so then you go to the next line, there's nothing, and then you come back to the loop. So we didn't really update x. So if you do this, it will become like an infinite loop. It just keep on printing 1 over and over and over and over. Right, that's gonna crash the server. Actually, don't do that. Don't write a infinite loop on the server. Yeah. So and then so what you want to do is, so basically you want to update this x, right? So you want to do x plus minus 1. So also this is the same as x equals to x plus 1. So if you look at this, so what is this, right? So if it's 1, right? 1 x equals to x plus 1. So it will be 1 plus 1, and will be 2, right? So x will be 2, then 2 is still less than 10. Then print, since now x is 2, then we'll print 2. So you'll print it will be 1, 2, and then it's 2, right? 2 plus 1 is 3. So now x is 3, right? 3 is still less than 10, and then the output will be 3. So you're gonna keep on going until you hit 9. 9 plus 1 equals to 10, right? So it's equals to 10, but it's not less than 10, then it will basically end this while loop. So imagine the loop is here, make sure you indent it correctly, and then I will go to the next code block will be like here. So let's say if you're gonna do print, hello world, or something like that, right? So you see how we can just, if you want to print 1 to, in this case 1 to 9, rather than writing print statement 9 times, what you can do is 3 lines of code or 4 lines of code, right? Yeah, that's important. Also, like in some case, let's say you're creating a game, right? While user never said stop, you gotta keep on running whatever the game you're doing until the user says stop. So actually you use while loops when you don't know when to stop.